Page 2. Yedid nefesh al harachaman. Yedid nefesh al harachaman. Meshoichadecha. Eretz Zonecha. Meshoichadecha. Eretz Zonecha. Yarutzadeka. Join with us. Yai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 Shabbat Shalom. We can do better. Shabbat Shalom. That's fantastic. Welcome to Temple Beth Orr, part of Broward Central Synagogue. And welcome to Homecoming Shabbat. And as a Brit, I have to admit that when somebody said to me, you know, in August we do a Homecoming Shabbat, I really wasn't quite sure what homecoming was. I had to Google it, and then I understand now it's something to do with college and sports, but really, homecoming has a very Jewish sense of it. Because it says in the Torah, V'asu li mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham. Make for me a sanctuary, and I will dwell with them. You may think that when God says, make me a sanctuary, God would say, and I will dwell in the sanctuary. But it's not what the Torah says. The Torah says, I will dwell with them, with the people. The structure is very nice. The building is very nice. We have a beautiful sanctuary. But what is important is not this building, it is you. It is the community. It is each of us. So tonight we welcome those of us who have been members of this congregation for many years, and those who are familiar to us. And we look around and we also welcome those of you who are joining us maybe for the first time. And we say to you, V'shachanti b'tocham, you are part of us. You are part of our people. And we welcome you to this community. And as we do every week, we will continue our service with the lighting of these Shabbat candles. And tonight, to guide us in these blessings, I would like to call those members of IJKL, the Institute of Jewish Knowledge and Learning. We have a speed learning event on Sunday, as well as Gary and Mindy Potrock and Bruce and Leslie Zaffron. And thank you all very much for sponsoring the dinner and the oneg tonight. I would ask everybody to please rise as we welcome Shabbat with the kindling of these lights. No, you don't need to, it's ready. Can you read this? If it's not too small, I'll give it to somebody else.
Shemor and Zachor, the unity of two voices. As we kindle these lights, we unite Shemor to keep and Zachor to remember. Though distinct, they blend in harmony, each completing the other. Shabbat's holiness lies in this balance. As the flame flickers, may it remind us to embrace opposites and create holiness through unity. Rabbana Shel Olam, grant us the strength to protect and to remember so we may live in harmony in your light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Dr. Kim. Please be seated. And as we do every Shabbat, we offer these Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat. As we welcome Shabbat, the idea is that we recite these Psalms to help us transition from the ordinariness of the week into Shabbat. We can't just stop our week and go straight into Shabbat, so the rabbis, in their wisdom, created these Psalms to transition us into the feeling of Shabbat. So as we're singing these Psalms, try and let go of all of those things that weigh us down, all of those things on our mind, all of those thoughts that maybe somehow keep us up at night. And let us spend this time together, create this sacred time, this sacred space, following the tradition of our ancestors, as we start these Psalms with Lechu Neranena on page 3. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. 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 Naria, Naria, Letzuri Shenu, Lekatma Fana Betota. Naria, Naria, Letzuri Shenu, Bismillah, Naria Lo. Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Lechu Neranena, Ladonai. Page 4, Yismachu Hashamayim, the heavens rejoice, and so do we. Yismachu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, V'tagei Haaretz. Yismachu Hashamayim, Yismachu Hashamayim, ישמחו השמיים ותגי הארץ. יירם הים, יירם הים, יירם הים, יירם הים, יירם הים, יירם הים, ומלוא ישמחו השמיים. השמיים ישמחו השמיים ותגי הארץ. Light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. O you righteous, rejoice in God and acclaim God's holy name with the singing of Psalm 97 on page 5 at the bottom. Or Zarua Latzadik Yisrael Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik Yisrael Simcha. Simchu tzadikim Adonai v'chortu lezecher kodesh. Beautiful. Yisrael Simcha. Let's hear you. Tzaddik Yisrael Simcha. Psalm 98 on page 6 of these prayer books, which was written by Rabbi Uri. In the middle, Zamru l'Adonai b'chino, b'chino v'kol zimara, join with us, b'hatzotzrot v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai. Iram hayam u'menaro, tevel v'yoshveva, neharot im harkav, yachad harim yeranenu. Bottom of page 7. Ramenu Adonai Eloheinu v'kishtakadu l'hai kodsho. Ramenu Adonai Eloheinu v'kishtakadu l'hai kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu ramenu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu ramenu. Ramenu Adonai Eloheinu v'kishtakadu l'hai kodsho. Ramenu Adonai Eloheinu v'kishtakadu l'hai kodsho. Top of page 8. Mizmor LeDavid, Obul Adonai b'nei Elim, Obul Adonai kavod ba'oz. Obul Adonai kevan shevayishtakavu l'Adonai Adot kodesh kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai. Yay, nay, 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 nay. Yeah, nay, 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 yeah, nay, 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 nay. Ooh, yeah, nay, 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 yeah, nay, 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 nay. Adonai Yobos le'amoyitain Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Yay, nay, 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 nay. Yay, nay, 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 nay. Yay, nay, 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 nay. Yay, nay, nay. Yay, nay. Yay, nay, nay, 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 nay. I always want to burst into, if I were a rich man. I am rich in the spouse that I have. I didn't even plan that. So we now reach the climax of the Kabbalat Shabbat service with the singing of L'Chadodi. L'Chadodi is where we compare Shabbat to a bride. And what we do for the last verse is that we stand and we turn around and the doors open and we welcome the Shabbat bride. It's interesting, the verse that we sing this to has the words, Bo'ii v'shalom ateret bala, come in, what's v'shalom? Peace. JKL helped us out there. Come in peace. But the word shalom doesn't just mean peace. Shalom isn't just a greeting. Shalom is completeness. Shalom designates this idea that when we come into this sanctuary, when we open the doors and we welcome those into our community, we offer them this blessing of healness, this blessing of being with each other, being with our community, being as one, complete. Lecha, lecha doti, likrat kala. Panei, panei, Shabbat nekabala. Page 9. Lecha, lecha doti, likrat kala. Panei, panei, Shabbat nekabala. Nai, 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 nai. Shamor v'zakar b'dibu echad, Yishmi'anu elam yukad, Adonai echad, Shema echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'nitzki, nai, 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 l'chadodi. Penei, penei, Shabbat nekabala. Verse 2. Penei Shabbat nekabala, lekar dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabala.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקודה ברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה ומשתה ותגילה לה 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 לך לך
דודי likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabala. Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabala. Verse 3. Mikdash melech il malucha, kumitzei mitokafika, rav nashevet beyemek habaka, the huyak molala, yekem na nai 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 la kadodi, likrat kala, penay penay. Kabbalah, please rise.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam v'simcha u'betzola, toch emonei yom segula, boi chala, boi chala, la 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 la.
Kadodi, likrat kala, penay penay Shabbat Kabbalah. Kadodi, likrat kala, penay penay Shabbat Kabbalah. Nai 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 la kadodi, likrat kala, penay penay Shabbat Kabbalah. Kadodi, likrat kala, penay penay Shabbat Kabbalah. Please be seated. We continue on page 12 with the singing of Psalm 93.
Adonai malach geut lavesh, Adonai osit asar, aftikon tevel, valtimot aftikon tevel, valtimot, nachon kisecha Adonai, naseu niarot kolam iseu, nearot achiam, vikolot ma'im rabim, adirim mishreyam, adir b'marom Adonai, adir b'marom Adonai, edotecha nemnu me'od, lebeitecha nava kodesh, Adonai leorech yamim, Adonai leorech yamim, mikolot ma'im rabim, adirim mishreyam, adir b'marom Adonai, adir b'marom
In case you don't know, this is Jessie Wald. She has been a cantorial soloist at Beth Orr before and at Colony for many years. And we are so excited that she will be our cantorial soloist for the High Holy Days in just a few weeks' time, making beautiful music along with a fantastic choir of 25 plus members. And what was even more beautiful than your rendition of Adonai Malach, for me, something that I saw that nobody else could see. And that was the look on your father's face. Please rise for the Chatzi Kaddish on page 14.
It
continue with a call to worship on page 15, the Baruch Hu. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. Join with us. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai nai yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai. On page 16, we read together in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim chokhmah potzeach she'arim uvitvuna mishaneh itzim umachalif et hazmanim ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה גוללו מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל ביום ובלילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמידים נחלנו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני אמרי ורבים.
Page 17, we read together in English. Endless is your love for your people Israel. You have taught us Torah and mitzvot, laws and ordinances. Therefore, O God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we shall speak of your commandments and rejoice in your Torah and mitzvot forever. Day and night we will reflect on them. They are our life and the length of our days. Your love shall never depart from our heart. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. As we gather together as one community and indeed unite with the Jewish community throughout this country, throughout the world, all together, all strong, 16 million plus of us. As we close our eyes or cover our eyes, we sing these words together.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meotecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohi mitzaha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha Uvleftecha v'adireh, u'shafbecha uvekumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafo bein einecha, uvtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'isharecha, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang the song, as we will sing the song together on page 22, the song of our freedom, Mi Chamocha.
לא מי חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
In the Hashkivenu prayer that we're about to sing, we ask God to spread over us Sukkot Shalomecha, literally a shelter of peace. And that word should sound familiar to all of us, Sukkot, from a sukkah, which is something which is not permanent, something which is temporary. And perhaps the lesson here is to teach us that peace isn't something which once we have it, we will always have it. Peace is something that we need to work for each and every day. Peace among ourselves, peace within ourselves, and peace between people. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום בידה ביד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
Please rise for the Vishamru.
שמרו בני ישראל ושמרו בני ישראל
לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש ושמרו לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת
לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We remain standing for the Amidah on page 25.
Adonai sifatai tifta ufi agita hilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tobim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezoher Haseavot V'imahot, Umivigula Libnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melo Ozer Moshia Umagin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Abraham V'Tzrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mehayeh Kol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Hayim Behesed, Mehayeh Hakol Berak Ramim Rabim, Someth Nofim Verafeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Mihamo Haba Geburot, Umidal Mela, Melememit Umehaye, Umatmiya Yeshua, V'nemanata L'chayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mahayeh HaKol, Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim B'chol Yamcha Lu HaSelah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue silently through page 30. Traditionally, Shabbat is a time that we don't ask for things. We express gratitude. The one exception to that is healing. Shabbat is that special time, that special connection. So if there is someone in your hearts, in your minds, someone that you heard about this week that could benefit from our prayers, please say their names as I motion in your direction. And to their name as we add Ethan Bogdanov, Paul Aronson, David Leppel, Lorraine Ball, Victor Ben Nehemiah, Linda Black, Avram Ben Oiza, Shlomo Betzela Ben Abraham, Ethan Campbell, Sandra Chesler, Brian Randy, Kalahisi, Jay Christo, Royza Bat Shmuel, Betsheva, Eileen Edelman, Regina Elkin, Ira Feldman, Lionel Fendel, Sandy Freeland, Marsha Gilbert, Rachel Galazan, Phyllis Gorowitz, Mark Rand, Arnold, Dina, Sheila, Henry Grossman, Marsha Hope, Tracy Yanetta, Alma Kalish, Henny Koss, Marion Kostrinsky, Liebel Lazaroth, Andrea Perez, Bruce Pickholtz, David Pinsley, Sophie Pollock, Harriet Radlin, Arnold, Gloria Raymer, Rosalie Saltiel, Louise Samuels, Myrna Shapiro, Bobby Sherman, Gaishan, Katie Weinstock, and Laurie Weinstock as we sing together these words on page 31.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. They're in all our body, they're in all of spirit, and let us say
Shabbat Shalom. You know, when I was growing up, my family used to take one vacation each year. And that vacation was always to Israel. Now, you might imagine that as a Jewish child growing up in London, that what I looked forward to most going to Israel was walking the streets of Jerusalem, or going to the Kotel, the Western Wall, or maybe hearing Hebrew and seeing the writing that I'd been learning in school everywhere. But no, what I looked forward to most was the hotel breakfast buffet. We weren't poor, but we certainly were not a family that went out to restaurants to eat. So this idea was kind of extraordinary to me. You could literally go up, eat, come back down, go up again, and then maybe, do this a few times. And every morning after we'd all been up and down to the buffet any number of times, there was a curious little ritual that would take place. My mum would ever so casually open her very large handbag. You know what's coming next. My father would keep watch. He'd look towards the maitre d'. The maitre d' would turn his head. My dad would give my mom the slightest nod, and into the bag went the rolls. A few minutes later, another glance to the maitre d', another nod head, and into the bag went the cheeses. Maybe some fruit, whatever we may need later in the day. Other families left breakfast feeling full. The Goldman family left with provisions. And of course, we're all guilty of this in some way or another. The sweet and low packets that somehow end up in our pockets because apparently the price of dinner includes a lifetime supply. The little bottles of hotel shampoo that we carefully accumulate throughout the week as though we're building an emergency reserve. The dog poop that somehow doesn't find its way into the bag because it's midnight and nobody's looking. There is something about us as human beings that changes when we think nobody can see us. And this week's Torah portion, Ki Teitze, is remarkably interested in precisely those moments. Commandments concerning the seemingly ordinary moments of life when perhaps no one is looking. The Torah says, if you find something lying around, don't put it in your pocket. It is not yours. Try very, very hard to find the rightful owner. When you conduct business, your weights and measures must be honest. Again and again, Torah enters those ordinary places with integrity, something that can sometimes become a little bit negotiable, and tells us that we shouldn't try and get away with those things. Because when no one is watching, some people, nobody here, may have the tendency to not always do exactly the right thing. When people are watching, we're very careful to present the best versions of ourselves. And perhaps that's the difference between reputation, what we want other people to think about us, and character. Reputation is who other people think we are. Character is who we are when there's no one else around to impress. And we live in that world which is very concerned about reputation, how we appear, what we post. All of our lives somehow are curated more and more. Now, of course, many of us believe that God is always watching us. But perhaps, like me, sometimes we also believe that God knows us so well that we don't really need to impress God. We can impress people, but maybe we don't need to impress God. After all, does God really care if we take a few sweetened loaves? Surely God has bigger things to worry about. Except, apparently, the Torah doesn't. And maybe that's why this portion, Kititse, is so interesting, because it's filled with the little things. A lost object, the honest wait, the ordinary transaction, the seemingly insignificant decisions that nobody else may know about. Perhaps the Torah is telling us that character is formed in those small moments, those small private moments, those small everyday little decisions that we make. Because those decisions don't just happen once, they happen thousands of times. And through the thousands of choices that we make, we slowly become the people who we are. But I was thinking about this and wrestling with this idea and thought that maybe there is something even deeper. We might think that our motives, the reasons that we do things, the reasons that we do the right thing when nobody else, when somebody is watching us, is what really counts. We may think that when somebody is watching us, who cares? Is that such a big deal that we do the right thing? Of course we're going to do the right thing. But I'm not sure if that's true. I'm not sure if the motives of why we do things are so important. In Sefer HaChinuch, a medieval Jewish text, which talks about doing mitzvot, it states, Acharei hape'elot nimshachim halevalot. Our hearts are drawn after our actions. Our hearts are made after our actions. Our actions, regardless of our motives, create our heart. Sometimes we act kindly until we become kind. Maybe at first I do the right thing because people are watching. Okay, so what? Maybe I give because I want my name on a plaque. Guess what? Most people like seeing their names on plaques. The good thing is still happening. But more than that, if we do these good things over and over again, eventually we're no longer acting like the person we want others to think we are. We are becoming that person. What we practice becomes part of us. What we practice becomes part of us, regardless of the reasons that we practice it. And maybe that's one of the reasons that we need a synagogue in the first place. Because none of us become who we are on our own. We watch one another show up. We watch one another give. We watch one another comfort a mourner, welcome a stranger, support someone who's unwell, celebrate someone's joy. And sometimes we do those things ourselves simply because this is what our community does. And that's great because eventually what a community practices becomes part of the people that belong to that community. Judaism suggests that sometimes we learn character precisely because somebody was watching. The audience people that see us doing things, see us doing the right things, isn't the enemy of authenticity. Sometimes the audience is the teacher of authenticity. Parents teach children, teachers teach students, community members teach each other. Torah itself creates an audience. This is what's expected of me. And at first, the expectation may be external. Repeated choices slowly internalize it. And eventually, the voice that once came from outside begins to come from within. And maybe that's the message of Kitetze. Do the right thing because someone is watching, if that's what gets you started. Do it because you're supposed to, if that's what gets you started. But just keep on doing it. Because the little things we do over and over again don't remain little things. They become our practices. Our practices become our character, and our character become who we are. Until eventually we become the kind of people and the kind of community for whom it simply doesn't matter whether the maitre d' turns his head or not. Shabbat Shalom. And we actually have the president of Broward Central Synagogue with us tonight, Karen Sheikman. So maybe she would like to come up and offer us some words of wisdom.
Every time I come, I get answers to Mark's personality. I now know why you love cruising. The buffet. You can't change what you learn when you're younger. Anyway, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's so nice to be here again. I want to welcome those of you who are here visiting, those of you who've come back, and those of you who've been here for a very long time. It's nice to see everyone. And Mark, just in a month, you look older to me and wiser. I'm sure you can see from your program that BCS has put together so many programs for both Kol Ami and Beth Orr. And I hope that you find the time to take part in some of them. I personally can't go to all of them, so I wouldn't expect you to. But I hope you'll pick a few, some of the IJKL learning, and some of the Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur events that are coming up. Most importantly, come to the Sisterhood event. It's at CJ Black's next Thursday night, and that's a lot of fun, and you'll get to meet a lot of women, those of you that are in Sisterhood, and new friends, old friends. And the men are having their first watch party at Casey and Beth's home. I want to thank Beth so much for opening her home for the first Brotherhood event. And Casey, thank you too, and for giving us your wife on a daily basis. She is a blessing. Anyway, if I don't see you before the holidays, I wish you all a happy and a healthy and easy fast. I'm going to try to stop by, but I might need to split myself in half. I'm not sure. Anyway, Shabbat Shalom, and thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Karen. We're going to prepare to conclude our service with the singing of Aleinu L'Shabeach, which is on page 35. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים
take this time now and remember those who have Yortsites this week. Lawrence Dreyfus, Jay Cooperman, Sylvia Weinstock, Irene Steele, Al Goran, Michael Douglas Hope, Joel Robbins, Mildred Latman, Emmanuel Schechter, Irving Meller, Hyman Steingart, John Eric Funkelstone, Harry Bukowitz, Edward Weintraub, Paul Farbman. If anyone has anyone they're remembering, please say the names of the person you're remembering as we all read together on page 36 the words of the Kaddish. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Bialma, Divarach, Yirutze, Biamnich Malchute, B'chayechon, Ubiamechon, Ubechaye, Dochol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Ubizman Kari, Vimru, Amen. Yehe Shemei Rabbah, Muvarach, Le'olam, Ul'olmei Olmaya, Yiparach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ah, V'yitzromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitallah, Shemei D'Kudsha, Brichu, Le'ela, Min Kol Birchata, V'shirata, Tushbachata, V'nechemata, Ta'amiran, Bi'alma, V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shalama Rabba, Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom b'mamav, Hu ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. And it just occurred to me that 3 weeks from tonight, we will be gathering as a community as we start our High Holy Days together. And I am very, very excited to be with you and very excited to be leading the services with Jesse and our choir and all of the members of this congregation. Thank you for the opportunity. And we're going to invite all of the children up onto the beamer as Jesse leads us in our final song, Adon Olam.
Shalom bimromav yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Israel ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imberu. Al kol Israel ve'imru. Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir letzir nivra le'ed nasa b'chefso kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiklot hakol levado imloch nora ve'u haya ve'u obeh ve'u yeh v'tifara Adon olam asher malach da-da-da-da-da-da אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא בידו אפילו כי בנישון בעלינה וכמלוכי כפי עתיד אדוני לי ולא
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah banu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahba uvratzon hinhelanu, zikara l'maseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehillah l'mikrae kodesh, zeher l'tzion mitzrayim, ki banu b'chatav v'yatanu kidasha mikohamim, v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava uratzon hinhelanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen.
L'chaim.
You want to go up?
Drink up. Not too much.
Do you want me to pick you up? Do you want to go up? You want me to pick you up? Alright. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in songs